The Venetian Waterways, a gentle escape in Great Yarmouth. There are places that don't rush you, places that don't boast or dazzle. Instead, they invite you, gently, quietly, like an old friend offering you a seat beside still waters. Welcome to the Venetian Waterways. Tucked just off the seafront in Great Yarmouth, this hidden network of tranquil canals, elegant bridges, and flower-framed paths is more than a garden. It's a soul-soothing escape, a living memory, a place where time itself seems to take a breath. The story of the waterways begins not with grandeur, but with grief. It was 1926. The echo of the First World War still haunted Britain. Men had returned home, not as heroes with medals, but as survivors carrying scars, many invisible. Great Yarmouth, like many towns, faced a silent crisis: unemployment, trauma, disconnection. So the town leaders made a decision, bold in its gentleness. They created work that would heal, not just roads or buildings, but a sanctuary, something beautiful, built by those who needed beauty most. They called it the Venetian Waterways. It was dug by hand, men with shovels, barrows, boots worn thin. They moved earth, not just with muscle, but with meaning. For every curve of canal, every brick set into the arches of its bridges, there's a heartbeat. This wasn't just construction, it was restoration of dignity. They built winding water channels that echoed Venice, romantic, meandering, full of life, and gardens, hundreds of plants, shrubs and flowers placed with care, like brushstrokes on a painting. The waterways opened in 1928, free to the public, a garden for all, a gift from broken hands, turned gentle again. Imagine it then, boats gliding quietly across still water, couples strolling in soft afternoon light, children leaning over bridges to watch the ripples dance. The waterways quickly became a place of pause, not escape from the world, but a way to feel it differently. Everything here was intentional. The curved bridges, the flower beds arranged like lace, the quiet symmetry between water and stone. It wasn't just a park, it was therapy, long before the word was common. But beauty, like peace, is fragile. When war returned in 1939, the waterways changed, the channels were drained. Military need took priority over magic. Some of the gardens were damaged. Bombs fell nearby. The silence returned, but not the healing kind, just emptiness. Still, the waterways waited, and after the war, slowly they were refilled, replanted, reclaimed. The 1950s and 60s brought visitors again. Great Yarmouth was bustling. Seaside holidays were blooming. The waterways saw new life. Bright bedding plants, families on benches, tourists snapping film photos. Boats drifted through the canals once more, oars dipping gently as swans trailed behind. It wasn't just a tourist attraction, It was a symbol that peace could return, that beauty could grow again. But as the decades passed, attention faded, and the waterways began to slip into silence once more. By the early 2000s, much of the waterways had fallen into disrepair. Algae thickened in the water, bridges wore down, flower beds became overgrown, their colour dulled. People walked past, but no longer through. A once glorious retreat, quietly forgotten. But some remembered, and some refused to let it go. In 2017, something beautiful began. A coalition, Norfolk County Council, Great Yarmouth Borough Council, local volunteers, and the National Lottery Heritage Fund joined together to revive what was nearly lost. They didn't just repair the waterways, they listened to it. Historical plans were studied, craftspeople rebuilt stone bridges by hand, gardeners returned every bloom, every border, every delicate curve of colour. And in 2019, the Venetian waterways came alive again. Water flowed, boats returned, the scent of lavender and salt air filled the air once more. Today, if you follow the sound of birdsong and trickling water, you'll find it. There's still that quiet magic, still that gentle pull that slows your step. The bridges, curved like a painter's brushstroke, feel timeless. The flowers bloom in layered beds, bright against the soft tones of aged stone. Reeds sway beside the banks, dragonflies skim the surface, and boats glide once again, elegant, slow, smooth, just as they once did, almost a century ago. The Venetian waterways isn't just a place to visit, it's a place to feel. Here you feel the care of the hands that built it, the sorrow of what was lost, the pride in what returned. You feel the hush of history, the weightlessness of water, the slow unfolding of time. It's a place where even silence feels full. Some places shout their stories, this one whispers. But if you listen, truly listen, it stays with you. It stays in the sound of your footsteps on gravel, in the way light moves across a still canal, in the hush that falls when you stop and breathe it in. The Venetian Waterways isn't the biggest attraction in Great Yarmouth, but perhaps it's the most meaningful, because it was built with purpose, rebuilt with love, and reborn with hope. It reminds us that beauty isn't in perfection, it's in care, in time, in things made slowly and kept quietly. So next time you're near, come, step inside, let the water guide you, let the silence speak. Until next time, I'm RoamingLensWalker.